Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another mini set card review, and we are on the final day already of the reveals for this very impactful looking mini set. And yes, we have Paladin and Hunter cards, and unfortunately, yep, there's a new Murloc, and it looks pretty good for Paladin, as well as some quest support for Hunter. So we'll review these cards. You want to win these cards? We're giving away 3 mini sets out of my pocket to enter the giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down description below. The one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday. When that mini set launches, I will add another one to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. And we're less than 400 subscribers already away from the next 1K. So if you haven't hit that button yet, get in there while you can. And we already have the Hunter mask card revealed, so we're not going to review that. However, we have another very expensive card for Hunter, which is a nice card for that quest, a 7 attack beast, but it's 8 mana. The Ankylodon, is it Ankylodon? It's got Taunt and Death Rattle. Summon 2 random 3-cost beasts. They attack random enemies. So this can basically get 2 Muklas out possibly, and they could go face, right? It could hit anything, whether it's minions, the enemy hero. That's pretty darn solid. There's just not a great way of like trying to cheat this out. Like any card that's 8 mana, you have to look at, does it win the game or can I cheat this out? And you can't really cheat it out outside of Imbue, which has fallen off since the whole King plush, and basically that deck was destroyed last mini set because we're playing 0 mana King plushes, multiple of them. Yeah, I don't know if this is really good enough for Quest Hunter, which is lacking. Like, it only has that 1 7 attack beast, but you can play it for 5 mana. That's a huge deal. It's a pretty good card too, right? It's a pretty solid card. This is 8 mana and not a great way, at least that I can think of, cheating out outside of Imbue. And the effect itself isn't bad. You get a nice big taunt minion. You get more beasts out of the deal that could push damage. We know that could be pretty darn strong, obviously. But at 8 mana for a class that's pretty aggressive like Hunter, it's a real hard sell for me to say that this is going to see meta play. You could discover it with like the odd map, I think it's called, because it's an odd attack beast, but it's something I just don't see being hard run. Like, it's purely for that quest if you are, and at 8 mana, I feel like that's kind of a, yeah, kind of a deal breaker, right? So I'm gonna give this a 1. I actually gonna give it a 1 out of 5. I can't see this seeing realistic, competitive, standard play as the game is now. I keep saying they're trying to lower power level, but the old cards exist. We can't forget that. They're there, and this is just gonna take too long to get going. And then while it's also 1 because that format's even more crazy. But again, like I like to say, pretty good pick in Arena. Really annoying Arena pick, but it's just so freaking expensive for a class like Hunter. I just can't see it happening. But this card, definitely not expensive. And this card, I think, will definitely see some play in some deck somewhere. The Raptor Nest Nurse, a 1 mana 1/1. No tribe on this, so you can't just slap this into your beast decks. And doesn't this guy look like a beast? He's a turtle, no? Or is it the... I just don't... How's that not a beast? Anyways, explain it to me in the comments below. I'm sure there's a reason. Anyways, Battle Cry, you get a random 1-cost minion. Death Rattle, you get a random 1-cost spell. For 1 mana, you get a 1/1 and 2 cards. Like, that's pretty good. And they're narrow. They're 1 cost. So I'm likely, well, I'm certainly going to be able to play them very early on. I guess there's synergy with the legendary of this expansion, right? You can double up the stats on the 1-cost minion, and the 1-cost spell can go twice. Don't know if you really care about that so much, but yeah, just a cheap card that gives you some random value. That's just really solid. You could slot this into any Hunter deck that isn't like super minion specific. So probably not Beast Hunter, probably not Hand Buff Hunter, the 2 decks that have been good at Hunter lately, but any other Hunter deck like Discover Hunter probably likes this, which is a deck more like higher legend. But it's just something to play to get some value. You might get some Discovers. Who knows? I think it's a pretty good card. Again, there's not really a particular deck I would slot it into. It's not a build around card. It's just a nice value card that you can play on 1. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I'll give this I want to give it a 4. Like, I just think it's so good. I just don't know what deck it goes into or what it's, you know, ultimately achieving right now, but I'm gonna give it a 4 to 5. It's just so much value for 1 mana, and I guess I get blinded by value, even if it's a hunter card, but at 1 mana, it's gotta be worth it in some decks, right? It just has to be. So we'll give it a 4 in standard, and in wild, value doesn't matter, so we'll give it a 2 there. And again, pick this in arena. You're gonna be really happy. And okay, let's just go to Paladin. Let's start with the bad news that people will not be happy about. We have a new Murloc, the Fire Gill. It is a 2 mana 3/2 elemental Murloc, and it has Kindred. Give your other minions rush. One of the big weaknesses of Murloc Paladin right now, they really struggle to try and recover the board when they lose it, right? They got Tyrannigill, that's a nice rusher, and like the Steam Fin, I think it's called, that's got some rush elements to it, but that's it, right? There's not a lot of great ways to get that board back. It's why they struggle so much against more optimized decks. Basically, if you look at the stats, once you get past Platinum, a Murloc Paladin falls off a lot. Not even Legend, it's Platinum. It falls off, where at Diamond, the more popular decks are Protoss Priest and Fireack Rogue, while Firegill can help you recover the board a lot. You have a bunch of stats that you can't really use until the next turn. Well, Kindred, give them rush. Maybe they have lifesteal. Maybe they have reborn. There is a lot of good stuff on it. I think it's a one-time deal. I don't think it's an aura like Houndmaster Shell, but maybe I'm wrong. I think it's a one-time deal. Regardless of that, if you got like a Murloc or Broomstick, that's a pretty darn effective, and this will definitely help Murloc Paladin. There's no way around it. This will improve that deck to an extent. It's, again, not doing amazingly well outside of, again, Platinum is the main place it thrives, but I hear complaints about it all the time, and I expect to see that be consistent in the comments on this video. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I think it sees play in Murloc Paladin, which is a playable deck, and in wild, I'll give it a 2, because again, not quite the same case there, but yeah, I'm sure people just love seeing a good Murloc. Next, we have a new spell for Paladin, the Hatching Ceremony. This is kind of a weird one. It's 3 mana. At the end of your next turn, give your minions +2/+2. So you're playing this now, and then the next turn I develop a bunch of stats, and then they get the buff. Well, I never really get to proactively use these stats, right? Normally a buff of give everything +2/+2. I do that, then I can do the thing. This, I'm just trying to set up a big turn where then those things get a bunch of stats, and then they might get answered, and I never get to utilize those stats. It's really clunky. It's pretty finicky. Like, I don't know, for 3 mana, that's a lot to invest in that potential buff later, but it could be good. It's just a really delayed effect that also you're kind of forecasting and allowing your opponent to kind of set up for the inevitable stat bomb, right? Like, I feel like there's a huge trade-off in that regard. It's a really hard one to evaluate, considering we typically don't see effects like this almost at all. So I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm not sold on the effect. I feel like it's too slow, it's delayed, it's too easy to kind of anticipate what's gonna happen. But yeah, maybe like in that Murloc style of deck where I play this and then I just flood the board with Murlocs and then they all get a huge buff, that could be really darn effective. But I feel like you just rather play Murlocs, which are also buffing your board, and then maybe in Flood Paladin this is okay, but in Flood Paladin I really need to get as many minions on the board as fast as possible, and this is kind of counterintuitive to that. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard. This is one I absolutely could be wrong about. I'll be really interested to see how this one plays out, because again, this type of effect is just unusual. We don't normally see it. And in wild, will you guess it? I think it's too slow and won't see play there, so I'm gonna give it a 1. And lastly, we have a card here that it's something. It is a Hero's Welcome at 8 mana spell. Not many spell schools, I gotta say, this mini set, like, at all. Have we seen spell schools? I don't know. Anyways, discover a legendary minion to summon. You set its stats to a 10/10. So yeah, I get an 8 mana 10/10 legendary. Like, you could get the Divine Shield guy. It's really annoying. They have to like hit in 3 times and that's it. You know, it's not even summoning a copy of it, by the way. You're not getting a copy in your hand. It is purely 8 mana discover a legendary and summon it. I guess like you got Ursol, which can play this, and then you get at random, you get a 10/10 for 3 turns in a row. That's something, but I don't know what you're doing with this. I don't know what legendary I really want to hit, and you're never gonna consistently hit what you want. And for 8 mana, that just seems bad. That seems brutal. And even in arena, I don't know if I want to touch this one. Like, you don't give it Divine Shield. It's just 10/10. It's just stats. Like, I don't know. I think this card's terrible. I don't know how to spin this one. I'm giving this a 1 out of 5 in standard, a 1 out of 5 in wild. I have no idea what you're doing with this. Even like Prismatic Lens, I think it's called. You could cheat this out for like dirt cheap scam, and it's still just a legendary that gets a 10/10. I just don't know. There's not even like chargers available. I don't know. I think it's bad. While editing, I actually thought of why this was probably made. It's probably made for the Mage Quest card, right? This is literally made so I could discover that and then get those legendaries and summon them on board. That's gotta be it, right? Because otherwise, I don't know what you're doing with this card. So there we go. Again, some decent cards and a lot of like questionably like really bad cards. That's the flavor of this expansion, to say the least. There's one more reveal later today. Stay tuned for that. I believe there's 3 classes left, including that final legendary. So stay tuned for that review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.